So, welcome back to another episode, Branden. It's good to have you, as always.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. How have things been since you've last been on the show?
Up and down, like always. Obviously, we're going through the COVID-19 situation right now.
Yes, we are.
So it's been weird, but it's probably been weird for literally everybody. So yeah. I don't know, man. It's been surprisingly positive, though.
Really?
For me, yeah. As positive it can be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's still working, which is nice. Still taking in some money, so I'm not super stressed about that.
Yeah.
Which is good. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to ask you, like, on the way over, I was thinking, how has this, like, changed the way you think or act, or, like, how has it changed you think, like, mentally?
It's definitely changed the way that I think and act in ways, like when I'm out in public now, I'm just way more conscious of other people around me and, like, really trying to be aware of people and give them their space and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that's changed. And also, just more aware of, like, keeping my hands clean and washing my hands. Because, like, to be honest, I wasn't the best before this whole thing. I'm not a heavy hand washer, or I wasn't before. And I am a little bit more conscious of that for sure. But yeah, it's had weird effects too that I didn't expect. Like, just like on, like, motivation and stuff like that, and kind of feeling like cooped up and trapped in ways. But those days are, they're kind of farther between, and it's just like maybe one day a week or something where I just kind of feel like, I don't know, blah is the best word to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what about you? What are kind of some of the main ways that you've kind of found yourself affected by this?
One thing that was kind of weird, like, before all this went down, I was, like, working a lot, like, usually 50 hours a week, and I would, like, stay late, would never leave early, always, like, picking up extra shifts, like, one day off a week, and, through circumstances out of my own control, now I'm working, like, maybe 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I found it, like, pretty crazy how quickly I adjusted to, like, that workload. And now I'm like, oh man, like, I used to work like 10 to 12 hours a day,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, 5 hours. Like, oh my God. It's like kind of striking how, like, easy it was to, like, slip out of that.
Yeah.
But I think it also has to do with, like, how I value my time.
Yeah, for sure.
And part of that, there's a couple of reasons for that, I think, outside of COVID. But I notice, like, now, I don't know, it's a lot harder to, like, buy into my work because it's so much slower. Like, I work for an airline, so obviously we've been getting crushed.
Yeah, super heavily affected.
Yeah, so it's way different. It was like, it took a while to get used to. Like, you'd walk through the terminal to start work, and it was just a ghost town. Like, the restaurants are closed, like, things are, like, boarded up.
Oh, shit.
Like, shelves are empty, like, from all the convenience stores or whatever.
Yeah.
The Hudson News or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, when I was, like, tunnel visioned into just, like, working and grinding every week, like, I didn't really do much else. But now that, like, I don't know, I, like, started gaming again and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, found things I enjoy. Like, randomly I just met somebody during all this, which is kind of a weird time to meet someone, but I don't know, it just worked out great.
Yeah.
So that's been, not in a negative way, but taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So now when I'm at work, like, if there's no work left, like, might as well just go home and spend time
doing the things you want to do.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't need money, fuck it. Big Daddy Trudeau will line my pockets.
That's the thing I think a lot of people kind of probably are feeling, is just the the value of where you place your time. Like, we've kind of even though I'm working as well, and I work for like a medical like supply company, so we've been like relatively busy, but like we have found that honestly a lot of us could be working less than we could like are currently, you know what I mean? Like all of us don't necessarily need to be there 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, like one of us we could all be working like 4 days a week and just alternate days off and stuff like that, and it would be fine. And I think it would be really good for like everybody's mental health, and just kind of like when you're working 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, it just kind of feels crushing in a way sometimes. But I think it would just, I don't know, I think it's everybody's kind of reassessing that typical work structure. People are now working from home and stuff like that, and they're finding out that they can do their jobs fine from home, or even better in some cases. Like our mutual friend Jesse, I've heard that he's working from home now, and he's like he's way more productive than he was at work, and he's getting more done because he doesn't have people interrupting him and bugging him, and you know what I mean? I think we're all like, as a society, we're kind of like taking a look at how we do work and like maybe reassessing it a little bit.
Totally, yeah. I definitely think that's true.
Yeah.
And like, I've heard some companies are looking at like why are we like renting out these retail spaces for people to like commute to and paying this money for like rent or whatever, when we can just have them like a remote workforce basically.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, like before this, I don't know, like now I kind of view time as like a currency, like, I could have money or I could have time doing this. It's like you're getting paid in different ways, but they're both like a currency now, kind of. That's how I view it. Yeah,
no, for sure. Like the saying time is money is like, as cliche as that is, it's totally true. But, I almost find my time is more valuable than the money. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, that's why consciously when I've take jobs that, I work, and then when I go home, I can disengage. There's a lot of jobs out there where you like have to be on all the time, or you're like on call 24 hours a day. I feel like that would definitely have an effect on your mental health. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
Kind of having to be able to go into work mode at a moment's notice, like that would suck, I think.
Yeah, totally. In my younger years, I had like a manager position where basically like, if something went wrong, you get a phone call and you might have to come in and fix it.
Yeah.
And like, I hated that.
Yeah.
I really like just being able to go to work, do your job, and then just not have to think about it, and just, value that currency of time that you have when you're not there.
Yeah, no, totally. And, it is. I think it's really important to kind of look at how a company treats employees like that, or treats just, kind of work-life balance is really important, is I guess what I'm trying to say, it's, sure, I get that, we need to get work done and stuff, but also we're all going to get more work done if we're happier and feeling more productive and not run down, obviously. So
totally, yeah. There's a fine line there, I feel like.
Yeah. And, it's something that we've never really had to kind of deal with, but we're dealing with now in this current generation and stuff like that. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes, especially after like a kind of disruption like this,
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how kind of society restructures itself, because it's going to have to. I don't know if we're ever going to go back to like the way things were and to normal or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what the new normal will be. It probably won't. It's not going to be 100% the same as before. I don't think maybe anything will be, but hopefully we can get back to some semblance of familiarity at least.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I have hopes. Like, I have high hope to it for it. I don't think this is the kind of be-all, end-all thing that a lot of people are expecting or thinking it might be, because I don't know. I've just seen a lot of people like out in my everyday travels. I feel like more people are a little bit more on edge, like going into a grocery store or stuff like that. It just seems like there's a different vibe in these places now. I don't know if you've noticed, but
totally, yeah. Like, yeah, people are definitely more on edge, and like like you were saying before, like I feel the same way. Like you go in a store and you're like, oh, like how's this person gonna react if I like get a little bit too close, or you know, you like feel really nervous when you cough.
Yeah.
In public. You're like, oh, I just something caught my throat. Like I don't have it. You know.
Yeah.
You're like paranoid about showing any like semblance of a symptom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that about like it's not the be all end all, because I think it turned out to not be like as bad as we were expecting, and like who knows how much of that is due to like preventative measures. Like it could have been a lot worse, I'm sure. But man, yeah, there's like real. I think there's real like valid negative consequences to people being locked down too long.
Oh no,
and
for
it's,
sure.
It's a super hard line to know where to draw, but like you know, we keep hearing that like suicide rates are up, like mental hellness. Mental hellness.
It's good. It's accurate description.
Yeah, mental hellness is up.
Yeah.
That's a new term. You heard it here first. Oh man. But you know what I mean? Like yeah, there's costs.
Yeah, costs
and benefits to both.
Yeah,
and it is kind of like weird that we're placing more value on these deaths. It kind of seems than like people are dying all the time, and this is just like a new way to die.
Yeah,
and like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
So why are we paying? I don't know, maybe because it's novel. We're paying way more attention to it.
Yeah.
Which is fair, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But that there's like 500,000 people die every year from cigarettes or car crashes.
And stuff like that, yeah.
There's things all over the place want to kill you.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just like, I'm sure so many people have heard, just the regular flu. Like the regular flu kills, and yes, it does, but also we don't have like solid statistics on this one yet either, because it hasn't been a full year, so we have the statistics that we have now, and who knows? Maybe it'll get worse once things start reopening up again. Maybe it was because of the preventative measures, like you said. But also, like a stat I heard on the Joe Rogan Experience is it's like for every 1% of unemployment equals about 30,000 deaths because of suicide, depression, and stuff like that. So like, are those deaths more value? Like, should we be paying more attention to those deaths, or the ones that become because of sickness, and also because people are staying home more, car crash and accidents and stuff like that? That's way down. It's weird, It's like it's a weird time because, like you said, it's like which deaths should we be paying attention to? Because no matter what, people are gonna die, and I don't know. Like it's weird. We live in a time where nobody knows the answers right now. That's never happened before.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird irony that we have like access to so much information, but at the same time, like it's hard not to think like everything you read is like just conjecture. You know what I mean? Like there's like media bias, and like who knows why certain outlets are putting out certain things. Like I don't know. It's hard not to be a little bit paranoid. Like it's hard to know what sources to trust and like what the actual like stats are and what's actually going on. Like unless you're in the thick of it, it's hard to know.
No, it's totally true, and it's really like I don't remember there being a time where everything I read pretty much is like, well, who knows if that's true. That's like my instinct. You know what I mean? It's like, especially if it's sensational. Somebody will tell me something, I'm like, yeah, okay, but like, where did you hear that from? And like, is that person telling the truth, or are they trying to get clicks for, did you read the actual article, or did you read a headline to an article?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I've probably done the same thing where, I see an article headline, I'm like, well, this is fact.
Yeah.
But, it's why it's harder than ever, I think, to kind of determine truths.
Yeah, you almost have to just let go and assume nothing is true. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I don't know, man. Go live in the woods.
But that's like so hard to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people, because like that's almost by default, and people don't really appreciate that too much when they're like coming to you with information and they're looking for you to confirm their like bias, basically, and you're just like, yeah, that could be true, or there's this whole other side to the argument, and they're like, yeah. You're like, sorry. So yeah, but yeah, it's hard. It's weird to. I don't know. Is there any sources of media that when you read it or you hear it or you watch it that you're like, I can trust this?
This Instagram account I follow called Not the Onion. It's very tongue in cheek, but it's like an account with like real headlines that are like so fucked up you think it's from the Onion.
Yeah.
Is the idea. But no, honestly, I don't have like one source I go to. I don't know. I'm just a paranoid lurker, not knowing what to trust, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Because, like, honestly, most of the information that I get, like, about current events and stuff is from podcasts, you know? And who knows if, you know, like, I can't, like, a lot of the stuff is actually from, like, the Joe Rogan Experience, and I can't have that be my trusted news source. Like, I'm sure it's good and stuff, but also I've listened to that so many times, and they'll be talking about something. I'll be like, this is wrong. Like, I know this is not factual.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of hard to just have a source of media that you can 100 be like, this is true.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah. So, yeah. Have you found that, you know, working less and stuff has like kind of had maybe a positive benefit on your life, or?
Yeah, I definitely feel less like worn out.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of beating myself down, like mentally and physically, just like working so much. It's been kind of nice to like refresh. Yeah, it's let me like focus on other things. Like I started cooking a lot again, which is nice. Speaking of Joe Rogan, like, yeah, he's like really hammering home like, this is a wake-up call to take care of yourself. Yeah. And like the first time I heard that, I was like, you know, fist deep in a pizza, and I'm like, oh man, should probably stop doing this.
Oh yeah, dude, I agree. I'm probably gonna gain like 30 pounds after this thing, just because, like, I don't know, eating a lot more like hearty food, you know, like big ass shepherd's pies, and because I'm cooking a lot more too, because I guess we have to, but yeah, you know, which is good. I've been making some really tasty food. I've actually impressed the hell out of myself with and my girlfriend's impressed the hell out of me too with the meals we've been cooking. Like, shit. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've seen what you've been cooking. It looks tasty as fuck.
Thank you. Yeah. All the credit goes to the internet. Yeah. And YouTube. Thank you.
It actually, I used to get those meal boxes, like it was good food or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that you've been cooking, I'm like, is he getting these meal boxes? Because it's like shit that I would get in a meal box. But if you're just coming up with those ideas, like, shit, that looks tasty as fuck.
I did for a while, but I canceled it. Okay. Like partially due to like financial reasons, but also, I don't know. There was like, it was never quite had like the exact ingredients I wanted, and I don't want to waste food. Yeah. Like at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'd get like whatever. I'm a very anti-corn. I like to declare that publicly. Fuck corn. Fuck lettuce. Ketchup sucks. Like they can all go fuck themselves. So I would like get like some corn for a recipe, or zucchini. Yeah, fuck zucchini too.
Whoa, zucchini's tight.
I don't know, man. Agree to disagree. Yeah. But anyways, I'd get this and I'd be like, tell my roommates like, hey, there's a bag of corn, like, go ham, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I don't know if it didn't cook it fast enough, it wouldn't be fresh. I don't know. So it was good for a while. Yeah. But I don't know. Now I'm just back on my bullshit, you know. Yeah. I got a good source for recipes. Like I hit it with you off air. Just kidding. It's foodgawker.com. It's really good. It's a great resource for recipes. Tight. It's tight. Someone at work showed me it. I use it all the time. Yeah. It's great. You can search up whatever keyword. It like narrows it down, and it basically just like pulls from all these different sites. It links you to it. It's a great resource. Yeah. Awesome. So I've been using that. Yeah. But yeah. Fuck zucchini, I'll say it again.
Dude, I'm growing some zucchini right now. Like, I actually, one thing that I tried for the first time, because we're trying to do not go vegetarian or anything, but we're just trying to like limit our meat intake. So we're doing 2 days a week where we just do vegetarian or whatever. But we did zucchini noodles for the first time, made like zucchini pasta.
AKA zoodles. That's another reason zucchini sucks. Fuck that word,
What are
dude.
you talking
Fuck
about?
zoodles, bro.
No, that's the best word ever. Like,
I don't know, man.
okay, noodles versus zoodles. Zoodles is far superior. Anything with a Z, come on.
I don't know. Maybe if it didn't have the like connection to zucchini, I'd fuck with it a bit more. Like if it was just like zany noodles, like that's pretty dope. But just knowing it has that green filthy slime attached to it just kind of ruins it for me, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, zucchini doesn't really have a taste. When you eat it raw, it sucks, and it mostly just takes on the taste of whatever you're cooking.
Yeah.
So it's great for noodles. But actually, fresh to shit, was awesome. I love zucchini. I'm going to take a stance on that.
This is a hard-hitting discussion,
This is
right?
a hard-hitting discussion.
Debate.
But yeah, like, just trying new things like that has been real cool too. So
One thing food-related that this like kind of pandemic has me thinking about is like, I don't know, trying to get my meat from, I don't know, maybe hunters or something locally sourced instead of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, totally.
like fast food or big chain stuff.
yeah, that's always something that I've kind of been, conscious about too. Is it kind of sucks when there's not too many options where you can get your meat. I'm sure there is. Maybe I just don't know about it. But yeah, locally sourcing. Like I've been, toying with the idea of maybe checking out the farmers market and stuff. And
Yeah, same.
honestly, I'm sure if you could probably find meat at the farmers market as well. And but I think that's super important. Honestly, is just kind of supporting. Like I've been a little bit more normally I'm pretty conscious about trying to support local, whether it be bands or artists or stuff like that. But through this whole like pandemic thing, I've been really conscious about trying to support local businesses and stuff like that. Like when I get beer, I get it from a local brewery, and most of them do delivery now. And
Yeah.
books and stuff, instead of going to Amazon, I go to a local bookshop or something like that. Just trying to support local businesses, because I think that's like something that's just kind of is really kind of being taken away from our society with like Amazon and just kind of the interconnectedness of the world and shit like that. So I don't mind paying a couple more bucks if I know I'm supporting a local business, and it feels better in a way,
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Yeah. So it's something I've just that's definitely, going back to your original question, that's something that it has kind of affected me through this, is just being a bit more aware than I was before, even about just making sure to try and support as much local stuff as I can.
Yeah, dude. Jeff Bezos doesn't need another $17 billion. Like,
He doesn't.
we can shell some out to Gertrude running the bookstore on downtown, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
She probably needs it more than
Well, yeah, the richest man in the
that
fucking world.
upcoming trillionaire, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch.
Who, when he got divorced, he split his money, and he was still the richest person in the world, and his wife, his ex-wife, was now the third richest person in the world.
Yeah, that's unfathomable wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, I mean, what? You're spending maybe... Who cares? Even on the high side, if for a book, if you're spending an extra $10 even, like, come on, it's $10. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of local business, check out With Love Cocktails on Instagram. Someone I work with is, it's like a meal kit service, but for booze. It's great.
That's tight.
Just send you ingredients for cocktails.
Yeah.
Check them out on Instagram. Make an order.
Yeah.
Local business. Support.
Support it. Yeah.
Shout out the homies. Hashtag support the homies.
Hashtag support the homies. And I'm drinking a beer from Good Mood Brewery. It's a local brewery here. They have a really good deal, actually. $55, 24 beers, free delivery.
Damn.
It's pretty tight.
All right.
So, yeah, they got good beer. And it puts you in a good mood, obviously. Like, now that these ads are over, but...
Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by...
Actually, there's something I wanted to touch base with you on. I don't know if you've noticed, but, like, you used to listen to the Sam Harris podcast, right? The Waking Up or whatever.
Making sense.
Yeah, it's called Making Sense.
Yeah,
now.
I actually listening to it on the way here.
Yeah. Oh, were you?
Yeah.
What I actually wanted to like. What do you think of like kind of what he's doing with the whole? You know, you're only getting half episodes now unless you contribute financially, I guess.
Well, personally, I'm a bit of a deviant. He has like an option where you can get it free for a year if you just send an email.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm lower middle class. I could probably afford it, but like, I don't know, man. Do I really need to spend that money? Probably not.
Yeah.
So I've been, you know, cheating the system a bit, maybe, and getting the whole episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about this a bit. I definitely appreciate not having to like scroll through ads. Especially like certain podcasts like The Portal or Duncan Trussell's, like they do it in the middle of the episode and it just tilts me, honestly.
Yeah.
It kind of turns me off. At least like on Joe Rogan, it's at the beginning, at the end.
Yeah.
And you can
skip it.
You can skip it and you know there's none in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Like if you can afford it.
Yeah, no, totally.
And he always has that like backup offer if you can't afford it. Like he makes it clear that money shouldn't be a barrier to his content. So, yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, no, totally.
If it supports his content and like takes away the ads, then yeah, why not?
No, I agree.
I'm into it.
Yeah, no, there is nothing that I hate more than a mid-roll ad on any podcast, no matter what the fuck it is. I hate it so much.
It's annoying.
And that's the one thing I can guarantee, and I will promise for all the listeners out there, I will never do mid-roll ads because I hate them with a passion when they happen. And like stuff like the Duncan Trussell podcast, and I don't know if you listen to the Aubrey Marcus podcast, but there's just a lot of podcasts that didn't do mid-roll ads that are now doing mid-roll ads, and it kind of sucks. And it's like, okay, I get it, you gotta make money and it's fine and like cool, but also it's starting, a lot of podcasts I've noticed are starting to kind of feel like TV shows, or at least how TV shows were. Like I listened to a couple really produced podcasts that are, you know, they'll have ads at the beginning and then they'll talk a bit and then it gets into their intro and then they'll have a break about 15-20 minutes in and then they'll have another ad break about 35-40 minutes in and then they'll roll out with credits. And I'm like, this is just so like TV showy in my opinion, and that's like not what I want through podcasts, you know?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's just weird. I've noticed more like more stuff like mid-roll ads, and then there's the Sam Harris one that you only get half episodes unless you pay or
are poor.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's moving to Spotify and doing Spotify exclusive, which is, it's still free, but it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
it's worth over $100 million apparently.
The podcast,
like the deal that he signed.
Oh, really?
With Spotify. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, I understand then. To be fair, okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, if somebody came out to, I can't judge that because I would do it for way less money.
Me too.
Yeah,
I don't even have a podcast.
Yeah, but it's just it's interesting to kind of see the evolution of podcasts, I guess, is what this boils down to. Is, you know, back in the earlier days, I've been listening to podcasts for a while, and, you know, free for the most part, very minimal ads, but it just feels like things are kind of, maybe as people get into it more and they're figuring out more ways to like monetize it and stuff, it's just changing a little bit, at least I've noticed. So
yeah. Speaking of Spotify, I didn't know this, but one of my friends made this long post on Facebook about how Spotify pays artists, and it's honestly kind of fucked up, just the model that they use. It's not based on like, like this artist had this many stream, which is like 0. whatever percent, so they get that much money. It's like not directly correlated to that. So like the people at the top are getting like the rich get richer sort of thing. Like and the people at the bottom just get crushed.
Yeah.
Like Real Society almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's another thing I've been thinking about, like how to support artists more directly with like different. I don't know exactly how like Tidal works, but apparently they have a better payout structure to the artist. It's more like correlated to like streams and not like top heavy to the top artists.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've been looking at that too.
But it's like also the thing is like how many people uses Tidal versus Spotify, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to get off the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like the same with just the internet in general, you know what I mean? Like you used to be able to make money by selling CDs or vinyl and merch and stuff, but now it's because of the internet, like a lot of that business gets crushed, right? So I mean, if artists do have merch or CDs or stuff, that's probably the best way to support, I would think. Because I honestly don't know about streaming sites and how much, especially lesser known artists, are getting a cut on that. So
yeah,
and I don't know. It's the internet has made things so weird. And like good weird and also bad weird.
There's a lot of bad weird on the internet.
There's a lot of bad weird. There's also a lot of good weird. But like,
true.
You know, because things like what we were just talking about, like podcasts, like people expect podcasts for free, and like the reason we had that whole conversation is because I'm like, man, people are starting to charge money for podcasts. Like people should be paid for their content, but it's weird because it was a free thing for so long, you know. So it's just. Yeah, and then music, and it's the same. It's like being able to get it for free kind of changed it, you know? But it is cool that anybody and everybody can now make music and put it out there and possibly get paid for it, but that's also a bad thing because there's a lot of music out there that you have to sift through. And yeah. So
speaking of content and paying for it, have you thought about starting up an OnlyFans? It's like it's a real, real lucrative opportunity to make money right now. It's pretty popular.
I don't know if anybody wants to see that, but
I saw this meme that was like 2020, the year where you can't see your friends in person, but you can pay to see them naked on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
It does pretty much sum it up. The amount of people who have OnlyFans right now is remarkable.
It's booming.
It is. Hey, if you can make a living like that, all the power to you, because that's awesome.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if people are willing to just like in my why I don't is because people aren't going to be willing to pay. I don't think for that. So
yeah, I don't think. I can probably count the amount of people that want to see me naked on one hand on the globe, so yeah.
Yeah, probably me too. So
I don't think that's my market per se, but I don't know.
Maybe I should start showing more skin on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah, it could help.
If those pictures get more likes, then I know what I must do.
Yeah, sex sells, man.
OnlyFans, here I come. Podcast naked, like video podcast, or no, only audio podcast, but they know I'm doing it naked. That'll sell, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm more intrigued already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh man. That's what I mean about, and like it's cool that option exists too, though. Like, I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, and there's people willing to pay for that, all the power to you. You know?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, like I said, the internet has made it so like just the nature of money and making a living just so weird.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of nudity, I've been watching Naked Attraction with my girlfriend lately.
Okay.
And I used to think my dick was super weird, but I feel a lot better about it now. You know what I mean? Just seeing more genitals, I think, has like normalized my opinion of my penis. I know this is the hard-hitting content people come to your podcast for.
Oh, definitely.
So you're welcome for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a weird way, it's had like a good positive effect on my self-image, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I could see that, man.
Like, the more dicks you see, like, the less weird yours gets.
I think every dude thinks their dick is probably weird.
Yeah, like, well, there's probably some chads out there that they're like, yeah, look at that dick. Man, my dick's sweet, dude. That's a nice dick.
There,
yeah. But, like, yeah, I feel like they're in the minority for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. It's like, again, with the internet, is you only see the top dicks, you know? You don't see any of just the average.
You're seeing the 1% of dicks.
Yeah, you're not seeing any of the weird dicks that everyday people have.
Yeah, let's normalize everyday dicks.
Everyday dicks need to be normalized.
Yeah. If you take one thing from this podcast, that's what it should be.
We need to normalize dicks.
Normalize dicks, yeah. Most of them are weird. Let's just get used to it.
Yeah, maybe that's a weird. Now we know how girls feel. Maybe all the time.
Yeah.
Not to get but yeah. Oh, let's normalize nudity and everydayness.
Yeah,
We're all.
I'm
awesome.
down with that.
Yeah, needs to happen.
Just watch Naked Attraction. It'll happen slowly. It's the first step. Man.
Fuck. What? Too Hot to Handle?
Oh God.
That was a show.
Man, that show is full of regret. Man, on one hand I was like, man, I'll never be that attractive. But on the other hand, I'll never be that stupid unless I suffer a massive head injury or something. I don't know. It made me really sad in a way.
Me too.
I'm like, man, how many people like this are out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why was this show popular? Because people relate to it? Or people like us that are like, wow, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the percentage there?
Yeah.
like,
were there people watching just being like, oh yeah, no, this is very representative of my life. Like,
yeah. Oh God! Like probably.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Don't relate to that at all. Yeah, like my girlfriend tried to get me to watch this. Like, basically, it's a British version of Jersey Shore called Geordie Shore.
Oh yeah.
In this like trashy town.
Yeah.
And like after watching Too Hot to Handle, I just couldn't do it anymore. I'm like I've reached my trash TV limit. You know. I did have to like quarantine for 2 weeks because I had minor symptoms. Tested negative, stayed positive though. So I watched a lot of garbage television in that time.
Yeah.
And turns out there is a limit to how much I can ingest before like, I just need to stop. It severely degrades my mental health.
Yeah.
Like exponentially. So yeah, I just couldn't do it.
That's fair.
I hit my cap.
Yeah.
Capped out.
Yeah. I mean, I think I watched the entire season of the entire first season of Jersey Shore in one sitting because they were doing a marathon on MTV or some shit, and I just happened to catch the first episode. And I watched it. I was like, this is fucking so dumb. I can't believe these people exist. And there was like, oh, there's another show? Yeah, or another episode? Yeah, I'll watch that. I ended up watching the entire first season in one sitting.
This the British one? There's like 22 seasons.
Okay.
It's fucking mental.
Yeah,
like,
okay. We don't need that much trash.
Yeah, that's like landfill trash.
Yeah.
That's like Pacific Garbage Patch trash levels.
Yeah. I think it's just the drama, man. I don't know what it is, but it's like people and a lot of it is just being like, these people fucking exist in real life. These are people. Like,
yeah. It's nuts. I think a part of it, what makes it like appealing is like we don't, you know, spend our time hanging out with those kind of people in our real day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
So when we see it, it's kind of like sensationalized a bit. We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
These people are out there. Like, what the fuck is wrong with the world?
Yeah. It's kind of like a nature documentary. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, totally.
I find I approach nature documentaries the same way that I watch trash TV like this. It's more like, you know, you watch you watch Planet Earth and you're like, fuck yeah, the Earth is crazy. I can't believe animals out there exist like this. Like, holy shit.
What the fuck is a pangolin, dude?
Yeah, exactly. Watching Jersey Shore is the exact same reaction. It's like, I can't believe people like this exist. This is so crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of like a fucked up Human documentary, yeah.
Human documentary, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I think Too Hot to Handle was my most recent trash indulgence spree. Watched it all.
I also went through a phase where I'd get fucked up on edibles and watch Doomsday Preppers. It was don't recommend that unless you're ready to get paranoid. Yeah, just a word of caution.
Yeah.
Maybe watch it sober, or if you like getting paranoid, fuck yourself up a little.
Yeah.
Go hard.
Go hard. Life Below Zero, I'm like pretty into right now.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just about people living in the Arctic.
Fuck all that, dude.
It's so cool.
I can barely handle living here.
I know.
And it's like 6 months of winter.
These people live way more hardcore than me or you will ever hope to live.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, they're like battling bears and
Why?
like each one of them has killed at least one bear.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, they're fighting wolves. They're like, yeah, it's crazy. I have like this weird fascination though with people who like live off the grid. Like I watched all of Survivor Man, Life Below Zero. I love. There's probably some other shows that I got into. Like I have a weird fascination of just watching shows where people are just like living their everyday lives, but it's like way different from what my life is. I get sucked into those. Not necessarily trash TV because I feel like that's kind of trash TV, I guess. But yeah.
There is something like fascinating to me about kind of being able to break the shackles of like normal society and just go fuck off in the woods somewhere, you know? I'm like, damn, like respect.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I wish I could just fucking abandon society.
Everything.
Yeah, just go fuck off and live in the woods or in a forest. I don't know, man.
Just like go hunt animals for your food and grow vegetables and shit like that. And yeah, there's something really attractive about that. And maybe it's because that's like what we used to do. And
yeah,
subconsciously we all know that society is kind of fucked up. But also I don't know if I really want to do that because I like society at the same time because it's got Taco Bell. Come on.
Yeah, there's definitely good parts for sure. At the same time, like I know I'm a total bitch, and I would definitely get fucked up by a wolf or a bear. So
yeah,
maybe that's part of the fantasy. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, nah, I'm a fucking coward.
Oh, yeah, no, I would not be able to fight.
I like
bear.
my warm bed.
Yeah.
And fucking petting my cat and like having food whenever I want it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's just, hey, I'll go camping.
Yeah, I'll sleep outside for a day and complain about it.
I've shit in the woods. I've had to bury it. It was a thing. Felt badass doing it too. It was weird. Digging a hole for your shit, grabbing a tree, squatting and shitting. It's an experience, let me tell you.
I can't say that I've buried my own shit before.
It's an experience, man.
I'll have to try it out. Maybe this summer.
Maybe, yeah.
It'll have to be inside this province, but
can we not leave the province?
Well, I just heard we can't camp in like BC or Saskatchewan this summer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the reservation system did open up, it was like bombarded by people wanting to reserve their campsites and shit.
I believe that. Yeah. It seems like people are just like itching to do whatever.
Yeah. Like
one of my good friends is a hairdresser, and they're like opening up tomorrow, I think, and like she's already just like slam packed. Like my hair's nuts. Like I was about to go Super Saiyan this morning before I came over. Like it's so long and like just out of control. Yesterday, like I worked in the office at work. I don't have the same role every day, which is kind of a nice part of my job. But anyways, I was inside in the office, and I was like so nervous before work. I'm like, man, my hair looks like shit. Like it's never this long. What am I gonna do with it? So I just kind of messed it up, and I'm like, okay, no one will notice anything.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes after I walk in, this dude's like, yo, man, what's up with your hair? You got a fucking pork chop comb over? And I'm instantly embarrassed, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is a pork chop comb over? I've never heard that term in my life.
I've never either.
Like, what does that mean, dude? I don't know, but it didn't feel good to hear, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Sometimes I think people just mash words together, and they're just like, this sounds cool.
Yeah, this is a Stark lemonade. I don't know, man.
I was lucky.
Cool.
I got a haircut like a week before this whole thing went down, but I definitely know that struggle because sometimes I'll get like 2 hours into my day and I'll look in the mirror for the first time and I'll see my hair and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What made you think that walking out of the house like this was okay? Like, and also nobody said anything. I work with some very nice people. So yeah, that's been a thing. So also my beard is out of control right now because I'm lazy. I don't want to shave it, but
I'll keep it. It looks great.
wow.
I FaceTime my hairdresser to try to walk me through like trimming my beard a while ago, and I just fucked it up so bad. I had to shave it all off. I was horrendous for about 2 weeks before it started to grow back.
That'd be a good YouTube channel to start right now, like self-grooming tips and care. Like,
Yeah,
you can probably make some money on that.
for sure.
Yeah, that's it's kind of again, I guess with this whole COVID thing, it kind of makes you think about the things that you did just take for granted, you know, like hairdressers and going for beers with your friends, or
Yeah.
not
Hugs.
having, huh?
Or giving hugs, you know.
Hugs, yeah.
There was like a period of weeks where I didn't touch anybody. It
Yeah.
sucked, man.
Or like going to dinner with my parents, like for the pretty much, I didn't see my parents for the longest stretch in my entire life during this whole thing. It was about a month or a month and a half long where I just didn't see my parents. And like, you know, you don't realize that, you know, just being able to drop by my parents' house whenever, just be like, hey, because they live like 2 blocks away. So just being able to be like, hey, I'm coming over to get this or whatever, and then you chat for a bit, but just not being able to do that, it was weird.
Yeah.
And it made me appreciate being able to do that so much more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But yeah, just seeing your friends and just not being weird about people and getting close to them, and it's kind of strange. I haven't given anybody a hug who isn't my girlfriend, and today you're the first hug
Thanks, bro.
for like 2 months other than my girlfriend.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah. And like it's also weird because like when your friends are like, hey, I'm just gonna drop this thing off, you know, it's like, okay, what's the protocol here, you know? Or you just gonna like put it somewhere and then I grab it from you, or do I take it from you? Like, it's weird stuff like that you have to think about now.
Yeah. I was like, should I hug you? Can I hug you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to hug you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to know where people's heads are at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. People are all over the place, too. Some people
Yeah.
are on one side where they don't give a fuck. People are still, like, locking down, sanitizing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is definitely a spectrum for sure on how people are treating this, how seriously people are treating this, and I think that, like everything, the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's where I try and kind of float, you know. Like, I'm taking this seriously, but not to the extent where, you know, it's going to start affecting my life in a negative way, I guess. I'll do all the precautions that I need to take in public, I'll take, whatever. You know, you want me to social distance, you don't want me to get too close, you want me to wear a mask, like, I'll do that. Cool. But also, you know, if you're allowing restaurants, like my logic is, you know, if you're allowing 50, I think you can gather with up to 50 people now.
I think so, yeah.
Well, like, that to me means, like, yes, I'm going to start, like, you know, having people over again or whatever, and, you know, invite my friends over maybe for dinner. Maybe try and keep it smaller crowds, sure, whatever, and, like, maybe be a little bit more aware of just interactions when that does happen, but, like, we got to get those good feelings back, you know? Like,
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, just like, we've never lived through a time like this, and it's strange.
No, it is strange, yeah.
It's just something that, again, we've just never had to think about, you know, who has touched this thing before I have touched it. And you pick something up in the grocery store and you're like, I feel bad putting this back now, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at it and check it out, but now it's in my hands. Like, can I put it back? Or
yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, it's same. It's made me way more conscious about stuff like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's one thing that you are maybe looking forward to, or what's the biggest thing that you're looking forward to kind of getting back to normal after this whole thing?
For me, I'd say concerts. I fucking love going to concerts. Like, luckily, I have a job. Well, before this, where I could go see a lot of them in different places, and like, I think I was like neglecting that for a while. I would like skip some, be like, whatever. Like, it's not gonna be that good. But I think after this, well, who knows when flying is gonna be normal. You know, I think. I don't know, I heard a rumor that flights to certain U.S. cities are coming back at the end of June. I don't know if that's true, but, you know, some people are like, yeah, I'm going to take a flight right away. I need to get out of here. But I think it's going to be weird for a while. Like, don't really want to fly with a mask. And, like, is it that big of a deal even if I have to? Like, but yeah, I miss concerts a lot. And, like, I feel like I'll be less like likely to skip out on them, and like I'm not gonna want to miss the experience, like knowing that it could be taken away like it has been.
Yeah, and it might still be for like a foreseeable
a while. Yeah, like I have tickets for the show. It's supposed to happen in May. It got postponed to September. I'm like, I don't even know if it's gonna happen in September. Like they're not from Canada, so like
yeah.
But like I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Because, that was early enough on that it was like nobody knows how long this is going to last and stuff. And they're saying in some, like I've heard from some places that like concerts won't be a thing until 2022 and shit like that. And that's just...
I hope that's not fucking true.
No, that'd
crazy. Be horrible.
And like, yes, a lot of people are... You know, the online festival, concert, performance thing has kind of taken off. Like, Twitch is probably worth so much more money than it was. But it's not the same, obviously.
No, it has been, like, really cool seeing, like... I've actually really been enjoying, like, certain live streams. I really like Dylan Francis. He does, like, multiple live streams a week, like DJ sets. That's been super cool. But, yeah, it's not this... It's not the same as like being there and the energy of all the people and like the loud music, you know what I mean, the lights and everything.
Oh yeah,
it's
there's definitely an energy that happens when you go to a concert.
Totally,
like, yeah. Just like I think the simple fact that all of you, all the patrons are there in the same room for the same reason to listen to cool music, and that has an energy in itself.
Yeah.
Which it's cool that they've been able to kind of replicate that feeling a little bit online, because like the chat room's there, so if you want to talk with random strangers or get fired up in the chat you can, but obviously it's not the same. Like,
no,
but it's cool that like they have been able to at least provide that.
Yeah, and adapt a little bit. That has been cool for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure it makes a lot of people who are doing performances, it kind of makes them realize as well, like this is something maybe I could do on a more regular basis just to stay up to date with my fans, and maybe I do only have to travel around maybe more locally or something like that. I don't know, but
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to going to concerts as well. That's probably the thing I missed the most.
Yeah,
and just random beers with homies, but
I feel like I'm definitely gonna be more proactive to like get together with the homies.
Yeah,
like when it's socially acceptable again.
Yeah.
I guess it is now, but I don't know. Getting together and being 6 feet apart isn't the same as like getting together, like hugging, high-fiving, whatever.
Just having a good time, not having to worry about it.
Kissing your dude homies a little, like whatever.
Right on the mouth.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Maybe some tongue. I don't know, man. Live your life. But you know what I mean? It's not... I feel like it's not the same with that like kind of underlying tension of implied social distancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like I have done, like everybody I'm sure out there, I've done the Zoom thing with like a bunch of people, and it's cool and it helps. And I didn't realize how much it would help, because I remember the first time I did like a Zoom thing with like my buds was like 2 or 3 weeks in. I didn't realize how much it would help and how much like I needed to just see my friends and like interact with them and like like we all were drinking and it was fun to, get a little tipsy and shit with people online, and even though you're sitting in your house, but it's not the same, obviously.
No.
Yeah. And that's it's all social things that I'm looking forward to again, like the concerts and like just going out with friends, and because I'm not a big shopper, I'm not a big club goer, I don't know, like any of that shit, like it's whatever. I don't need to go and eat in a restaurant. I can always order food online if I absolutely have to. I do like to go and explore new restaurants and stuff, but it's not end all be all to me. But concerts that needs to come back for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for those.
Yeah, I think it'll be. It's either gonna be really weird when they first come back, or like just rowdy as fuck. I think we have like those two options. It's A or B. There's no middle.
Dude, I'm gonna start working out. It's gonna get rowdy.
Yeah, because like it's either gonna be like everybody's like too paranoid or whatever to like get in there, or people are gonna be like, I've been pent up for so long, let's fucking do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Circling back to supporting the homies, my brother and one of your best friends, I might opine. Right before this, they were supposed to play an album release show in his metal band.
Yeah.
I was really stoked for. So when they actually get to play it, you best believe I'll be going buck wild.
Yeah.
They're called Metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor, sorry. Check them out on Spotify or Bandcamp. Support the homies. #, support the homies.
# support the homies. I was also going to go to that show, and that was like right when this thing started going on. It was one of the first shows to get canceled.
Yeah, it was like on the cusp, like it might still happen, but yeah.
And then it was like everybody was just. That was weird times. Like I'm sure people were. Because I'm sure people were split. It's like, no, we go ahead, and other people were like, nah, man, like, well, let's not do this, and I don't know, but yeah, there's so many good concerts that were coming up and albums coming out and stuff like that, and it's just like it sucks that you can't go and see that live now and just support the people.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it accelerated quick too. Like that was supposed to happen March 14th, I believe, and March 7th, I like flew to Toronto for a show, and it didn't feel weird yet. Like COVID wasn't really on my mind at all, or it was like barely in my radar.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, it was like exponentially different,
Yeah.
Things just started to cancel, and I was like, damn, like
a
week ago, I like flew across the country for a concert, and now we can't even go to them.
Local concerts.
Yeah, like locally even, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was weird because there was definitely a shift in my mind where it's like a week before it got serious, it was like I was making fun of it, being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck, the normal flu kills so many more people. I was one of those people. And then stuff started getting canceled and shutting down, and they're like, no, you should stay at home. This is serious. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah. And my girlfriend was sick at the time, and it was the week after, so it was around the 20th of March. So things had started. And I just let my boss know. I was like, yo, she's like, she has a fever and she has a sore throat and stuff. He's like, yeah, you got to stay home too. And I was like, what? Like, I feel fine. He's like, no, but just to be safe, you're staying home for 2 days as well. And yeah, it was weird. And there was a noticeable shift, and it happened really quickly.
Yeah.
And it was kind of strange.
Yeah, things definitely like changed exponentially fast, I think.
Yeah.
Like in the personally, and I think in like the collective consciousness too.
Yeah, it was crazy. And like, again, it was there's people who took it more seriously than others, and like I said, I was a person who wasn't taking it serious at first, and then it kind of changed, and then I don't know, man. It was more me being worried about other people, and like, because you hear all the stats about asymptomatic people, and like for like 70% of people are asymptomatic and shit like that. It's like more so I don't want to be the one who's giving it to some old person who's going to be seriously affected by it or something like that.
Yeah, so, like I'm a millennial. I don't care if I die, but I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill other people. You know what I mean? Heck, if I die, whatever, dude. Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, I don't want to fuck with other people's shit.
Yeah. I was more worried about my like parents more than anything. You know what I mean? Like they're both smokers. They're older. They're almost 60 and stuff like that. So like they're more target audience than myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's more like me affecting other people that kind of made me more conscious of it, I guess.
Totally, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, you hear stories of like, it still hits young people and like some of them can have a bad time, but the deaths are mostly with the older people. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, and like now with the reopening and stuff, everything feels weird, you know? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
when do you think that you're going to, let's give a couple different scenarios.
All right.
Restaurants. When do you are you gonna go? Are you itching to get out to restaurants, or is that something you're gonna like hold off on?
I think I'm gonna hold off, like not totally, because I think it'll be weird. I think it'll be a bit weird. I think like the wait staff will be wearing masks probably, which is kind of weird. But I also just like for myself want to just keep focusing on cooking.
Yeah.
And just like getting better at that, and just trying to like eat healthier, spend less money, and just, you know, put time and effort into that.
Yeah.
I like bought like a Masterclass subscription like in January, and then like never used it, and then when this started, I like started watching all the like the cooking ones like with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, but another chef. So I've been trying to like actually like implement what I've been learning like into my cooking.
Yeah.
It's been kind of cool.
Are those master classes worth it? I've actually kind of toyed with the idea of possibly.
I think so. Like, basically, you can get like one for $120, I think, or like
Okay.
all of them for $240. So I'm like, well, that's stupid. I'll just get all of them. But yeah, I think if there's enough like stuff you're into, like there's like a decent amount of topics.
Yeah.
But like, there could be more, and they're like adding more all the time.
Yeah.
But really, like, it's $240 a year, so like $20 a month.
Okay.
Does the math work out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm slightly retarded, but yeah, $20 a month. There's a lot of like good stuff in there. Like even a couple hours of watching like the Gordon Ramsay one of like added stuff, like skills in the kitchen that I didn't have before.
Yeah. Is it a lot of like how many hours approximately of content would you say, like maybe per course, if you have a approximation on that?
I'd say the average of the ones that I've done personally are like 3 hours maybe.
Okay.
Like I did the Neil deGrasse Tyson one, which is like it's like a very loose like class. It's like scientific thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like interesting, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I've definitely
all right.
seen some where I'm like, yeah, okay. Like,
Yeah, there's one on like wine appreciation. Like that guy can go fuck himself.
yeah. There was one on like how to barbecue, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, some of them are like, I'm never gonna watch this.
Yeah.
You couldn't fucking pay me to watch this.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, some are definitely longer than others, depending what you watch, but probably around 3 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now back to our bars that serve alcohol. How long does it take you to get back to a bar?
For me, I'm not a big drinker anyways.
Okay.
So even like pre-COVID, I wasn't in bars very much or
Okay.
like pubs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So probably.
So I'm not in a rush really.
Fair.
Like I don't know, it's getting really nice out. Like patio beers sound great.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not just like super itching to get out to bars.
Yeah. Actually, something that we're trying to be more cognizant of is like actually making our own patio and space to chill outside, so that we have a nice, pleasant space in our backyard that when it is nice out, we can invite people over and drink beers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing that I'm actually kind of looking forward to on this whole more, I guess, the COVID summer, is because there isn't a lot of stuff for me to do. We're getting a lot of stuff done in the backyard. I'm putting in like permanent structures for gardening and stuff like that. We've built some raised beds and shit like that, and
That's awesome.
we're gonna do our patio and shit like that. A lot of like projects on the go, which it feels really good to just be doing something. So, yeah, I think I'm the same way though on the whole bar thing, unless there's a concert happening or something. Like,
Yeah.
probably take me a while. What about things like haircuts or massages or chiropractic or anything like that?
I don't know. A haircut, I want to get my haircut.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, not so much. So that's going to be a internal issue. I'm going to have to work out with her. So I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Massage. Yeah, I'm like, I'm a little chunky. I got some rickety bones. It'd be nice to get a little rub down.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual, of course. But I don't know. It could be a bit weird. Maybe like, not right away, but maybe in like, June or July,
Okay.
I might look at getting a massage.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the last one you said?
Chiropractic and stuff, but I'm just
those are bullshit doctors anyway. So
I was just trying to like kind of clump them in together. Haircuts and massages are kind of similar because they both are touching your body by another person.
Yeah.
What about the gym?
Definitely need to get back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's out of everything. That's probably going to be the first thing I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Partially out of necessity.
Yeah.
To take care of my decaying body. But yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to gyms opening back up for sure.
Yeah, no, me too. I was actually, like, I joke, like, just, like, maybe in February, I think I got our gym membership. And we were just getting into the habit of like going at least once a week, going and doing like cardio and the pools and the weights. And I was like feeling really good. And then this whole thing hit and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Of course. Just when I was starting to develop a healthy routine, like
just got smashed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of, and then what about shopping? Just like in general, clothes, shit like that. Were you ever, is that something you did anyway, or?
No, man, I have like no fashion sense.
Yeah,
I don't really care about dressing well. Slightly derelict white trash, no big deal.
Yeah.
My wardrobe mainly consists of t-shirts I got at concerts. This is a little cheesy, but it's like you're wearing a memory. I don't know.
I love it too, yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. But yeah, I'm not a big shopper. I don't know.
No, me either.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was very prepared for like a lockdown. Like I'm like a curmudgeon, bit of a hermit. Like, if I could get like supplemental hugs, I feel like I could stay inside for a long time, and I'd be okay.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, man. But again, with this whole thing happening, it didn't actually. It has made me realize that, I'm not as introverted maybe as I used to think, because just being around people and stuff feels good.
Yeah.
And even if they are strangers, like it's made me rethink the way I've got to do this podcast with certain people as well. Like I don't necessarily want as many random people in my house.
Yeah, that's fair.
As before, where I was totally fine with that before. But now I'm like maybe looking at scheduling more, especially if I don't know them. Like I know you're in my house, whatever, cool, like but just strangers, maybe keeping out of my house as much. Which
that's fair.
Sounds like total common sense to the normal person, but
yeah, keep strangers out of your house.
Yeah, why weren't you doing that before? But yeah, it's just made me kind of rethink of like going forward how I'm going to do the podcast and stuff, and maybe offering alternatives. Like still offer, if you do want to come over, we can meet up or whatever. I'm cool with that. But like offering alternatives, like yeah, maybe we'll do this over the internet or stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So how would you tackle, like, how do you tackle, like, over the internet podcasts? Like, do you usually have video? I think it would be, I've only done, like, a handful of podcasts a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I find, like, obviously when we're in person, you can pick up on, like, facial cues and stuff and body language, where you can't necessarily do that over Skype or over the phone. Like, have you encountered that? Have you made any podcasts only over the phone lately?
I have done some over the phone, not well, they were kind of podcasts, but they're mostly interviews. I don't want to do that over the phone. Not being able to see anybody or just audio only is really hard.
Yeah.
You end up talking over each other a lot, and it doesn't really feel like a conversation as much as it feels like just like a interview where it's like I ask question, you answer question.
Yeah.
Maybe I expand on question, but it's really hard to kind of have just like a normal, natural feeling conversation over the phone. I've done a couple where I've had like one person in the room with me and then somebody else kind of like video chats in.
Oh, weird.
That one's it's also kind of a little, you end up talking over each other a lot because there's this little bit delay. But I think going forward, I would do it over video and then we would each record our audio and then I just kind of consolidate it. Because my computer's a potato, and if I try and do video while recording that like audio, it's gonna fuck it up. It's 100% gonna fuck it up. So I think going forward, if I do video podcasts like that, I would do a video call, but each of us record on our own end, and then I just do my fucking magic and smash them together. Those were all technical terms.
Yeah, you don't know about them, but they are technical terms of the industry, yes.
Yeah. So I think, going forward, that's kind of something I'm going to have to look at. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I've been, meandering with a few creative ideas during this.
Yeah.
I never really thought of myself as a creative person, and dude, apathy fucks me like a bitch, so I don't know if I'll ever do it, but I don't know. Yeah, I've been considering starting a podcast, or I'm ashamed to admit this, but learning how to DJ.
That's fun.
Very stereotypical.
Dude, that one's fun.
My brother's like a real musician.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm a musician at all. But I feel like he would judge me greatly, so that's a potential barrier.
Dude, he doesn't judge me, so maybe he does silently behind my back. I don't know, but
I don't think so. He's a sweetie, but
he's like the nicest person in the entire world. He would never do that.
Yes, I don't know why I think that, but I don't know. Yeah,
both of those things are fun, and I do both those things, and I highly recommend both.
But yeah, man. My homies got me addicted to this new game now.
Which game?
It's called Teamfight Tactics.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's super fun. It's annoying how much I like it. I should be doing better things with my time, but
yeah,
I just can't seem to do it.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot more games as well. Like, we've been playing Age of Empires 2.
Oh, what a classic.
Fucking LAN party and just fighting computers. So fun. I forgot how fun that game was.
Dude, yeah, that game was a trip back in the day.
Yeah. And I've been using the PlayStation more, and Assassin's Creed. I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Actually a pretty solid game. If you have any bad tastes about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is actually pretty tight.
Sweet. I've never played that series, to be honest.
Yeah, I played earlier ones when they were like new, but then I just played none of them until this one. So I played Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, and now I'm on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I think I missed like 15 games in there.
Yeah, there's probably about 15 in the middle. Yeah,
that I didn't play. So, but just having the time to do that too has been nice, because I used to be a big gamer.
Yeah, it has been kind of nice. I found this game, I want to shout it out. It was like one of the best games I've ever played. It's called Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Okay. And it's like super D&D influenced, but it's like, I'm not going to do it justice, but it's like super in depth. You get a fucking pirate ship and you get to hire a crew and go fuck shit up on the high seas and like plunder shit. And it's like, there's a huge map. You can sail all over the place. Yeah, it's just amazing.
That's right.
Yeah, I fucking played it, beat it, played it again, beat it again, and started playing it again.
Nice.
It can be so different every time you play it, which is super sweet.
Yeah, I like games like that give you like replay value, and or you're investing a heavy amount of time into it, like because honestly, I found. I'm going to sound maybe old here, but video games are so much more expensive than they used to be. When a starting price for a video game is like $89.99.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. So I look for more games that are worth that money, or you try and find them on sale or whatever. And
totally.
Yeah. But because back in my day, games used to cost $49.99.
Back in my day. One cool thing that Pillars of Eternity 2 did that I hadn't ever seen before is you could like load a save file from the first game if you played it, and that would like affect how it shaped the world in the second one.
Yeah.
And, like who was alive and who was dead, and like who would be in your party. And I was like, damn, that's dope.
Dragon Age. I don't know if you know the Dragon Age series.
I didn't play that.
But it did that as well too.
Okay, well, I guess it's not novel. I'm just oblivious.
I think Mass Effect did it, but those were made by the same company,
Oh,
so
okay.
it would make sense if they did. But I've heard of that before for sure.
Yeah, I like that feature a lot.
Yeah, no, that's cool because it lets you continue that story that you've already invested so much time in. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I've been enjoying getting into video games though. Like, and they give me ideas because I also play D&D, so like, kind of spins off from there. That's another thing I fucking miss, getting together with the bros, homies, playing D&D.
Yeah, same. We tried like there's like that website Roll20, which is actually pretty dope, and it was pretty fun, but like it's not
the same.
Not the same. Yeah, it's just
it's the yelling at each other and talking over each other is half the fun of D&D.
yeah, definitely.
So that's it's different. It's still fun, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but there's actually, if you like kind of D&D kind of inspired games, I don't know if you've heard of Divinity, Original Sin.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's very heavily D&D influenced, and you like it's turn based and shit, but it doesn't sound as in depth as this pirate ship game. But
oh yeah, fucking the pirates is the fucking selling point, dude. Fucking shit up.
Yeah. No, fuck. Even in Assassin's Creed, the one I'm playing. There's like you get a ship and you have to stock it with a crew, and there's ship battles and shit. And
oh hell yeah,
hella fun. It's super fun.
Yeah, that sounds tight.
Yeah,
I'm all about the ship battles.
Yeah, me too. It's fun as hell. Actually, I think I've been also just playing video games with people online. I've started getting into a little bit more as well, which I haven't done in like, I don't know, 10 years or so. So
it's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I used to be like heavy into video games when I was in my like early 20s, late teens.
Yeah.
And then, obviously life and shit, and you just, I don't know.
Adulting.
Adulting, yeah.
Bullshit responsibilities.
It fell by the wayside. And it's been good. It's been good to get back into like that kind of world and appreciate it in its own glory or whatever.
Yeah. Like pre-COVID, when I would spend a lot of time on games, I had this like weird guilt where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, like blah blah blah. But for whatever reason, that totally went away. And now I'm just like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll stay up till 6 a.m. I don't care.
Yeah. What else am I doing?
Fuck yeah.
I know what you mean though. Like I would play. If you sunk a whole day into video games, you'd be like, I'm a piece of shit.
I suck.
Yeah.
I'm not a real human being.
Yeah, I suck. I need to go do something the next day. But now it's like, I don't know, I'm definitely more forgiving of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. There is a limit, though, again. There's with everything, you're finding that balance.
Totally, yeah.
But yeah, I've enjoyed getting into game. But if you ever want, like you said, you're toying with DJing or podcasting, I will help you with both of those things.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because DJing is super fun and podcasting is super fun. So yeah,
dude, yeah, I'm down. That sounds great.
Even just DJing for yourself, like just making mixes for yourself to listen to, is awesome because it's like a nonstop amalgamation of music that you just like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So if nobody's going to listen to it but you, it's still cool because then you just have this like continuous thing of just music that you like.
Yeah, I think just due to fear of shame and getting roasted, it would probably be years before I shared like any sort of mix with people.
Yeah.
Just out of pure fear.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, man.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, maybe like when I'm 40, like I'll like, be polished enough to like release a mix to a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It took me so long to actually put mixes online, and that was only because we used to DJ. We used to have parties here at this house, and we used to just DJ for our friends or whatever, and it was cool and fun and whatever. But I ended up DJing at this other friend's party, and the only reason I put a mix out is because somebody came up to me after that and was like, yo, is there anywhere I can find your stuff online? And I was like, what?
are you fucking with me right now?
Yeah, like, no, totally, I want to listen to it online. I was like, oh, shit, that's weird.
Yeah, when shit like that happens to me, it's probably a self-esteem issue, but I'm always like, is this a prank?
Yeah.
Like, are you fuck with me? Yeah. Like, what, like, when I'm at my girlfriend, I'm like, why do you like me? Like, is this a, like, are you getting paid to do this? Like, is this a prank? Like, what? I don't get it. Yeah. I'm trash to your garbage. Like, what?
Yeah, but it's hard to put yourself out there, put shit, like, in all regards of what we were just talking about. Putting yourself out there and being vulnerable is fucking hard and scary, and I'm not good at it.
Yeah, even, like, coming over here today, I'm like, most things I say are stupid. Now they're going to be on the internet. I'm going to look like an idiot. But fuck it.
That's how I feel about every podcast.
Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah. When anybody comes up to me, and I've said this so many times, but when anybody comes up to me and they're like, yo, I liked that podcast you did. I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? Did you hear the way I talk? I sound awful. When the people who are willing to donate to the Patreon and actually give me money, I'm like, how did I fucking trick you? This is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this what imposter syndrome is?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it hard. And anytime I've worked media at stuff, people are like, oh yeah, just like tell them you're media and you can get into like the VIP area and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I feel weird there. So I'll just go stand with everybody else and like, oh, I'm comfortable here. This is fine. Yeah. So yeah, I have imposter syndrome hard.
The podcast concept I've been toying with is just like centered around death. Which is kind of weird, like not just like how people view it, how they interact with it, how they think about it, like what their beliefs are. I don't know if that would be interesting at all, but I don't know. Just start interviewing my friends or talking to my friends about like death and mortality and how that interacts with their life and their decisions or behavior. I don't know.
I would totally.
It's been like I don't know. I think about that shit a lot, so
yeah.
I don't know.
I would listen to that, but like I'm a poor litmus test because I listen to a lot of things. I like to listen to people ramble about things and subjects, and like one of my favorite things about podcasts is just hearing people's stories and just hearing different viewpoints on subject matter.
Totally,
that I don't hold. You know, That's why I find that's one of the most valuable things I find about podcasts is just getting other people's views on whatever subject it may be. Because it just allows me to know that those views are out there and that people hold them, and then B, kind of understand maybe why people hold those views and like what kind of people might hold certain views and stuff. So I think that would be cool. Like,
totally, yeah.
Yeah. No, that'd be a cool podcast for sure.
Yeah, I think, yeah, just going off what you said, I think, yeah, like listening to podcasts just like makes me less ignorant.
Yeah.
And like it's not. Sometimes it's just entertainment, but sometimes, yeah, like you get these like insane stories. Like one that springs to mind is like the Daryl Davis guy that was on Joe Rogan, like the black gentleman that was like converting KKK members. That like that's an insane story, and like
yeah, that guy lives an insane life.
Yeah, like my life fucking sucks. Like, I'm nowhere that cool or like courageous. No. And it can be like inspirational. You're like, wow, I'm like trash tier human. Like I should probably step my shit up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So it could be they can be a really positive thing.
Oh no, for sure. I like just listening to podcasts. Not even talking about the side of me doing my own podcast, but just listening to podcasts had a huge impact on my life and just allowed me to, I don't know, there's information out there about, you know, how you can improve your life, and you hear stories about people who have gone through similar situations to what you're going through. And like, I'm sure you've had a moment where somebody's been telling a story on a podcast and you're like, that's what, are you talking about my life? Like,
yeah, totally.
And they tell you how they got through it and what they did and maybe the mental things they were going through at the same time. And it just humanizes people especially like celebrities or successful people, it kind of humanizes them in a way, and like makes things more attainable. If that's the right word.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, the people who are authors, or if like the people who are living the life you want to live, they break down their story, and it just kind of makes it all attainable. It's like, oh, okay, you just gotta fucking work hard, and then we can do this, you know?
Yeah.
You know, throw in some hard work, a little bit of luck, consistency. It's a recipe for good things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And also, yeah, like, just knowing that other people hold opinions out there that are maybe like mine or completely different from mine, it made me feel not so alone in this world and less nihilistic a little bit. So that was good.
Yeah,
positive effect.
Yeah, totally.
And then doing podcasts, just obviously I was like such a social introvert and so awkward for so long, but it's just allowed me to open up to people in a like more legit way and improve my communication skills. I'm still garbage, but
but getting better, and that's what matters.
Better, yeah. So I encourage your idea to start a podcast.
All right. Thank you for your support, and stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And in 10 years, I'll be releasing my first mix. So watch out for that in 10 years.
Watch out. 10 years to the day.
If the Earth is still here.
Yeah. And if COVID hasn't killed us all.
Or androids or some weird Elon Musk shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you listen to that Elon Musk book, the newest one?
Yeah, that guy's a trip, man.
Yeah, he is.
He named, did you see his son's name? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, dude, I honestly just started listening because I'm like, I want to know how he pronounces that, and they went into it right away, and I was like, oh, this is the content I came here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that guy's what it must be like to be that dude. Just how his mind works, and
yeah, no, and you kind of really realize like Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan podcast is great. It's exposed me to a lot of great ideas and great podcasts and great thinkers and people, but you really get a sense of I don't want to say stupid, but just bro sciencey Joe Rogan is when he talks to actual smart people like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Because there are some points in that podcast where you're just like, you guys are just not on the same page right now.
Yeah, he even said it felt like Elon was talking to like an imp or like a 3-year-old. Yeah.
Like, all respect to Joe Rogan, he does a great podcast. He does a great job talking to most people, but
totally, yeah.
In podcasts like that, you're like, oh, okay, like
there's two different things going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be clear, I'd be much lower than Joe Rogan on the the spectrum.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would. Yeah. No. Yeah. So thank you, Joe Rogan, for doing what you do. That being said,
enjoy that 100 million.
Yeah, enjoy that 100 million. You deserve it. That being said, nobody should be getting their information solely from the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah. Accurate.
Yeah. So that's something I had to come to terms with.
Me too, man.
I've been in that camp, the former camp. So. Any kind of just, I don't know, final things you want to throw out there? Or?
I don't think we covered it. Just, support the homies, you know?
Support the homies. Got a lot of support for the homies.
Yeah, support local.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's about it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for making the journey. I know that it is quite the drive.
That's not too bad.
And thank you for coming over. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for all your support. You're real awesome. Brandon's number one.
Support the homies. Good.
Yeah, he lives those hashtags. Brandon is living the hashtags that he spouts.
Yeah, man. Well, you can't spout it and not live it. You know,
live it. You got to live those hashtags.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's always fun.
Always.
To be part of your media wizardry.
Nice. Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
If you like this episode of This Is Your Brain On podcast, consider leaving a rating or a review on your podcast listening app of choice. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, basically anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Help us break through those evil algorithms and reach the most amount of glorious listeners that we possibly can. And let us know how we're doing. For up-to-date information on the show, you can follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For more ways in which you can support the show, visit fsproductions.ca.